is 2016 is our launch year, the first Music Makers Conference. God willing, it'll become an annual event. Although next year as well, we're doing one especially for the songwriters and arrangers. There is so much to be said, to be taught, and even 3 days is not enough if you want to give it substance. But we really wanted to come together as music makers to encourage one another, to see how we can, as a group of people, meet the challenges that the church is facing in terms of its worship and so on. And so these people have come together primarily to learn new ways, new skills, concepts that will encourage them when they go back to their churches to lift the worship. Because primarily this is about music for worship.
And I think there's a sense in which the discourse, the interaction between the delegates and the people who are coming and presenting in different kinds of ways, sometimes it's the smallest of things that can happen, the ways in which somebody says something that touches off a thought or gives an anecdote. It's been nice to see that the interaction outside the sessions has been just as rich as interactions inside the sessions, which is partly why 3 days is not enough. There's a sense in which the different levels of experience in music, the different amounts of education, the different cultural backgrounds, they're kind of like things which up to now have sometimes been more ways of keeping us separated, but we're beginning to see how we can celebrate diversity, to celebrate unity, but we are at the beginning of what is still a very long road of conversation. And it has been a thrill to see and to learn that there are more people out there than we get to hear about in our churches who are really wondering how they can serve God better, how they can be more in tune with God, and how we can work in ways that celebrate the difference of what we do without hurting each other for not being like us.
I think it is the division music creates in churches, because people get stuck with their own preferences of music for different reasons. Sometimes very honest. It's a very honest way of trying to find the best for the church. And because of ignorance very often, or misinterpretations or prejudice, people get stuck in their own rut and can no longer relate to the other group or other groups. Try to find a way where they can walk a common path.
Everyone involved in the process of making these decisions have to sit down at the table and just be open about what they feel, how they see different things. And everyone has to have the mindset that we are all here to furnish music to encourage people to worship for this body that we say we are, this united church, whatever. Heaven will be diverse, right? So why not start it here? You can't just cater to one sect of people. On a humanistic level, that's just unfair. And the same way in worship, I think we need to cross and break down all the boundaries so that everyone feels a part.
One of the things several delegates have said to me is, that was great, but the sad thing is she's preaching to the choir. In other words, to the converted. So I says, right, now it's time for the choir to sing to the church. You've heard it. You now need to go and take it back to your churches and say, look, this is what we've found, or next time this person is coming, you need to come and to get something for yourself. Because we've spent a lot of time and money on educating pastors, musicians, but the members also need to be educated to turn from spectators into worshippers.
Because I love music, I thought it was best that I inform myself on music, Dr. Dukhan reminded us in her sermon that, God longs for mercy and justice as well. And that touched me a lot, especially with current affairs. There's no justice and mercy really in this world. And that's really been getting me down. So to hear that was a good reminder. Yeah, I was challenged slightly to get more involved with the music ministry at my church, like have more of a key role, I guess. Yeah, share this information.